it's Laynie, and how are you guys doing today? I hope you were having a splendid day so far. Really, I do. If you are new to my channel, let me start by saying welcome. If you are returning to my channel, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Today we are going to do a very chatty, get ready with me holiday glam. If you guys want to see how I got this holiday glam look and get to know me a little bit more, and hopefully I will get to know you a little bit more by the time it's over, then just keep watching and maybe grab a snack. Has anyone else been battling sinus issues this winter? I'm drinking just warm honey water. As you can see, I already did my brows. I used the MAC very teeny tiny brow pencil we got in BoxyCharm, and then I set my brows with the Pixie Brow Gel. I will link everything I'm using down below for you guys. If you're wondering where these stunning earrings are from, they are from BaubleBar, and I will have a video about my BaubleBar haul as soon as possible for you guys. If it comes out before this video, I will link it down below. We shall see. I'm going to be using a damp sponge by BH Cosmetics. I love this sponge, and I have been wetting it down with the ColourPop Amethyst Crystal Priming Spray. I've been enjoying that lately. I am first going to prime my face with the Primed and Peachy Too Faced Mattifying Primer. This does feel really refreshing with that bit of a cooling sensation. It's not super cooling, but it does kind of feel nice and freshening. Is that a word, freshening? I don't know. Next, I'm going in with the Peach Perfect Foundation. I am in the shade Porcelain. Have things been so crazy for you guys prepping for the holidays? They have been nuts in our house. Oh my gosh. Things have just been absolutely crazy around here. I mean, with the usual things that happen every year, you know, having to wrap everyone's gift. And by the way, if there was an award for worst gift wrapper, it would be me. I am terrible. I have no patience for it. For all of you out there who can wrap a beautiful present, oh, I am so envious. It's just not my cup of tea. I slap that paper on and use a lot of tape. That is my go-to method. But things have been so crazy here outside of the norm. For some reason, we live on a little bit of an older neighborhood in our city, and we're always having repairs done in the whole subdivision. So yesterday it was power outage for almost the entire day. It was like 4 or 5, maybe more hours. I'm not exactly sure. So the power was out. So then I couldn't film until later in the evening. So that messed with my filming plans. And then, oh my gosh, today, water out for 6 hours. So I can't do laundry, you can't make a cup of coffee. So those have been added stressors, but hey, you know what? You just gotta roll with the punches. I always tell myself when I'm feeling frustrated, like, things could always be worse. Like, always be worse. I could not even have water, ever. I could have to walk miles to get to water. So me complaining about being out of water for 6 hours seems really small if you look at the bigger picture. I saw Christina Burgess, who I did a collab with, is going to Disney for Christmas. Tell me that doesn't sound amazing. If anyone else has really exciting Christmas plans, leave them down below. Definitely losing some pigmentation using a sponge. But I just love the finish, so, you know, you just deal with it. Our holidays are always so special because we get to reconnect with so much family. I will say my husband's family get-togethers are usually quite a bit smaller. I feel like I'm really lucky in the fact that my extended family is very close. It's not like we all talk all the time and, you know, close in that sense. It's not like we're always talking to each other on the phone, texting, or going to do things together at all times, because there's definitely families out there. My best friend is like that. Her family is really close and they spend a lot of time together. But I feel like my extended family is really close in the fact that we really try to all get together on the holidays. And I mean very extended family. I'm talking sometimes it's like second, third cousins coming, all the aunts and uncles, all the grandkids, great-grandkids. I don't think my grandmother has any great-greats yet. I'm trying to think. No, but she's probably not far from it because she does have great-grandkids who are now in their like mid-20s, early to mid-20s. using my Kat Von D Cream Concealer in the same damp sponge. So I do think that's one thing that's really special, and that's why I love Christmas especially, and Thanksgiving. Those are the two big holidays for us, that everyone really tries to get together, and I just love getting to see everybody who I haven't seen in a while. And it's really neat to get together with all of your cousins. When I was little, I grew up by all of my cousins, so I also feel like that was really special. Like, growing up with them, they were definitely my closest friends when I was little. So it's just neat to reconnect with everyone because everyone is so busy. We've all got jobs and our own lives, and many of my cousins have children, so there's a lot going on. So when we get together, when we finally get to I don't know what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying. When we try to get all together, it's always a good time. At Thanksgiving, I feel like we have the very traditional food. We always have like turkey and ham and stuffing and sweet potatoes, all of that stuff. But I feel like our Christmas is a little less traditional. I don't know. What do you guys eat at Christmas? I don't really know what the traditional Christmas foods are, but my uncle every year always makes the best chili. I mean, really, he makes the best chili. And then we all bring like finger foods and desserts. Next, going in with my Laura Mercier setting powder. This year, I'm maybe living dangerous. I am not a baker. I am not good at baking. But for years, I have wanted to make a hummingbird cake for something. I never really bake for our home because I feel like, I don't know, in my world, baking is like a special occasion thing because I'm terrible at it. Again, it comes down, I'm not a very patient person with some things. Wrapping presents and baking are the reason. Like, I'm a really good cook, like when it comes to dinner and things like that, but baking, you gotta measure, you gotta do all of that stuff, and if you don't take your time, your recipe is not going to turn out. Where cooking, sometimes it's like, okay, I can, adjust these ingredients a little bit here, a little bit there, and it still will turn out. But I've been wanting to make this hummingbird cake. Have you guys ever had a hummingbird cake? I want to try it so bad. It sounds so good. The hype is real with this powder, you guys. Really enjoy it. But I'm looking a little pasty, so it's time to bring some life back into my face. Going to use my ColourPop bronzer, and I'm honestly not sure what color it is because it's not labeled the color on here. And it's been a while since I bought it, so I don't remember. I will link it down below. In 2018, my goal is to really start focusing on eating healthier, like big time. And I just bought this book, and I will link it down below. I have no idea if it's good or not. It literally just arrived on my doorstep today from Amazon, but I'm really excited to read it. And it was about autoimmune disorders and how so many foods can cure them. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I do have members of my husband's family who have autoimmune issues, and so I thought it would be really interesting to read this. And cancer runs in my family, and so I'm definitely interested in reading this and improving my diet for overall health more than anything else. I go in spurts where I'll eat really, really healthy, and then I'll eat terribly, and then I'll eat really, really healthy, and then I'll eat terribly. So hopefully this will give me that motivation. And I feel like 2018 is going to be my year. Anybody else feel that way? I'm now going to use my Makeup Geek brush and the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm going to carve out my cheekbones just a little bit. That way we can hide that 10 extra holiday pounds. Am I right? I guess since I brought up health problems, I've talked about it loosely here on my channel, but my mom passed away when I was a child from colon cancer. She was very young to have colon cancer, only 47 when she passed away. I was 11 years old, and this is something I've wanted to dive into more on my channel. It's just I don't know how to do it correctly. I don't know if there is a correct way. Sometimes I don't know if I'm ready to really discuss it on my channel. Even though it's been so long, that was back in 2001, it's still hard to talk about, and sometimes I just don't know if I have the right words to share it with other people who've gone through loss and even those who haven't. But if you have gone through loss, you know the holidays are like still a very special time, and you still find those things that make you really happy, but there's always that lacking feeling when you have lost someone really close to you. And whether that is a close friend or a family member, I feel like when you have lost someone really, really special to you, the holidays are never quite the same. And unless you have truly, truly been through that level of loss, it's hard to explain it. It does get easier, but it's never the same. I think in some ways it makes you enjoy the holidays more because you tend to feel more appreciative of the other people you have in your life who are kind of filling that void. Now going back in the brush I use Laura Mercier powder with, and I'm just softly blending out my contour. I'm not one who likes to have like a pity party for myself, but Christmas is harder for me. But I feel like Christmas is definitely one of the harder holidays for me, and it's may sound surprising, but it's actually not because of the loss of my mother. I mean, that's definitely part of it, but I had a very close family member. She wasn't actually blood related by blood to me. She was my half brother. I hate using the word half when you talk about siblings. It's like he's my brother, but so you get the idea. It's my half brother's mom, and she was my other mother, as I called her. She was so amazing, and after my mom passed away, I mean, she just stepped into my life in such a massive way and was always there for me. And our families were always very close. I feel so blessed to have lived in a divided household. Like, my dad was once divorced, had my brother, and that my brother's family and my family, even my mother, who was my dad's second wife, we were all so close. Like, we did all of our holidays together, and I feel so blessed that that was the case, because so many people go through divorce and they don't have that kind of relationship. And I think it was really important for my brother to have that in his life, even though he was quite a bit older than me at the time. We're 16 years apart, but I still think that's so important. I'm priming my lips with the ColourPop primer, but she stuffed into my life so much, and she passed away also 3 years ago. And I can dive into this more sometime if you guys want. I don't know if you guys want to hear like depressing stuff or not. Like, I don't know. I don't want to make this like a sad channel. But I know there are others out there who have also experienced great loss. Eden primer. And so sometimes it's nice to hear from other people who've been through tough situations. But she passed away a couple days after my husband and I got married, actually. It was devastating. But the reason why Christmas is harder for me when it comes to, her name was Karen, is because she was like the best at Christmas. She went all out. She had the most magical, beautiful Christmas trees. She had one Christmas tree that was nothing but vintage Barbies. It was so cool. It was like my favorite thing ever, especially growing up. I've always been a pretty girly girl, as you could call it. And that tree I always thought was so neat, because you don't see like vintage Barbie trees very often. I mean, so cool. And her other tree was just perfection. She just, oh, her decorating skills with the Christmas tree, it was like something you'd see out of a true like magazine. And so I don't know, and I've always had the most fond feelings of Christmas going to her house and our two families coming together. Going into the Jaclyn Hill palette for my eyes. We'll shade it more. If you look at this pathetic little card they gave me with my colors. Not a fan of that. MFEO. So I do miss that. We always had the best Christmases at her house, and she would always go all out and make us the best meals, and it was just the best. So I missed that so much. And even though I didn't live with her house was like my second home, and we always knew we had a place to stay and a place to gather, and it was awesome. One of my favorite things that I get to do now with my husband's family that isn't something I grew up doing is going to midnight mass. I'm so disappointed that so many Catholic churches are getting rid of midnight mass because people complain they don't want to be out that late. But it's so neat to go to actual midnight mass. I love it. And the church is always so beautifully decorated. Hilarious story. One year, so the lights are off. It's really beautiful. There are poinsettias decorated all over the front of the church, and the priest knocked a bunch of them over, and I don't think he knew what to do, and he's like, my bad. My dad and I were cracking up. I don't know, it was just something, it was one of those things you had to be there. It was so funny, it was the way he said it, it was hilarious. Going in with obsessed. What are your favorite holiday traditions? I would love to hear about it. I always think it's so neat to see how everybody around the country and around the world celebrates their holidays. It's so interesting. So I'm using the Morphe foiled brush because this is definitely similar to a foiled shadow. And I am bringing it up above my natural crease because I like to fake that lid space. I will say I have the hardest time keeping curl in my hair. Up until I'd say 2 or 3 years ago, my hair held curl like nobody's business. It was so easy for me. I didn't have to stress about it. Now that I've gotten older, my hair does not hold curl. I don't know if it's a difference in hormones as I'm aging or what the deal is, but it's so frustrating. Like, my curls are already falling out. It doesn't matter what I do, whether I use a heated product, a non-heated product. I think my curls have stayed in better with a non-heated product than with a heated curling iron. I don't know what to do. If you guys have any tips on how to make curls last, please tell me. I would love to know because it is such a struggle. Oh, I just stuck my finger in the eyeshadow. That's so sad when that happens. Let's try not to do that this time. Anybody else heartbreak when that happens? Next, I'm going in with this Firework shade in the same Morphe brush. I have cleaned it off. I think I'm going to just blend that on the outer, I would say, third of the lid. I am going to go in and deepen the lid a little bit after this. And let me just throw this out there. If any of you are in California, I just hope and pray that your homes are okay. I just can't imagine the holiday season with all of that going on. I mean, it is so sad. My dog's really upset because my husband is fixing our Christmas lights right now. So I am blending that into this crease right in here, and I'm bringing it pretty far in with a very gentle hand. Can you hear that? Yeah, that's his howl. We did not think he did that. We didn't know. It was so funny. My sister-in-law, who is in college, was visiting one day, and my husband and I left to run some errands, and she was here watching a movie. When we got back, she goes, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't even hear the movie. Your dog kept howling." And I'm like, howling? I've never heard him howl ever. And she's like, yeah, he kept howling. I'm like, no way. I've never heard him do that. And then it's true. My aunt watched him for us once, and as soon as we left, she was like, yep, he was howling. And then another time my uncle watched him for us, and he actually took a video. We left, and the dog was downstairs howling up a storm. I mean, so loud. It was echoing through the whole house. And so when I'm down here in the makeup room and my husband leaves or is outside, that is what I hear. It is the saddest cry ever. It breaks your heart. It's like, poor baby. He wants to be involved in everything we do, go everywhere that we go. He's pretty obsessed with us. I'm fine with that. I'm obsessed with him too. He's our fur baby. Going back in with the first shade. One of my very best friends just turned 30 the other day, and I'm just kind of freaking out because that means I'm getting closer to 30. I mean, I have a couple more years, but it's like, wow, I cannot believe it. It is interesting how aging goes so fast, and yet you don't really feel that different most of the time. Okay, and now I'm going to deepen up the look, but what do I want to use? I will use this really, really beautiful deep forest green color. It's called Enchanted. Funny story about feeling old, like really old for the first time in my life. One of my good friends is quite a bit younger than me. We met through working together, and she is 20. She's just about to turn 22, I believe, and I'm 27. Well, we are in her car one day, driving around, jamming out, and Bruno Mars comes on. And so it comes on, and she's like, I love this song. I was like, me too. Well, the camera overheated, and I don't fully remember where we left off. That's gonna drive me crazy now. I cannot remember what we were talking about. You know, New story. I was thinking to myself today, because my husband and I was talking about eating healthy. We stopped by Taco Bell for some lunch. Since we didn't have any water, we went and got a coffee and Taco Bell, like two health freaks, right? And the guy working at our local Taco Bell was literally the nicest guy ever, and he had the most wonderful attitude. And I feel like jobs like that are often so underrated, what you do. But you were like, when you were the cashier at a business, you were like the face of the company, because that's who I'm going to come in contact with. That's who I'm going to remember. And he had the most wonderful attitude. And this local Taco, I feel like our local Taco Bells do really good, because the other one nearby us has also one of the most jovial, nice guys ever working there. But this guy was so good. I loved it. When I walked up, I said, "How are you today?" And he said, "I'm blessed." And I just thought, oh, what a great answer. I love that. And he was just so peppy and upbeat the entire transaction. And I thought, dang, I wish I had something available to give to him for Christmas, because I never carry cash, so it's not like I could give him a tip. And so then I was thinking to myself, you know what I'm going to do next year, because I love giving gifts? Pardon me while I clean up my mess here on my desk. I've got eyeshadow all over. I'm going to put like little $10 gift cards, whether it's for Starbucks or Walmart, like places that are easily accessible to everybody, and you know most people are going to go to at least once in the year, because it can't be too tailored because you don't know people's specific interests. But I want to start carrying just like maybe $50 worth, $10 gift cards. So then when I meet like really nice people around the holidays, whether I'm at a store or a restaurant, or someone just goes above and beyond and is so kind to me, I could have something just to like, here, Merry Christmas. Wouldn't that be awesome? I want to do that, like a pay it forward kind of thing. I love that. Okay, so I'm doing the Smoldering Satin Stila liquid eyeshadow, and I'm going to pop it over top so it's really shimmery. Then I am going to take my finger, kind of dab it, because I don't want any really globbing up anywhere. It's like I want it to be kind of just a nice little wash of sparkle. And then note, next to note, I'm going to dab that over this little bit of firework right here. Just a little bit. A little dab will do it. Then I'm going to buff that with my finger. This one is not as glittery, but it still looks nice. I'm going to go in with the Scandalous eye pencil and do my waterline, because I want to kind of brighten the eye. I don't want this look to be smoky for the holidays, just beautiful and glam. I remember now. I remember. Woohoo! So my friend and I were in the car jamming out to Bruno Mars. First time I've really truly felt old. And one of his love songs came on from way back. And she was like, "I love this song." I was like, "I do too." And we're singing. She goes, "I remember when this came out when I was in middle school." And I'm like, what? You were in middle school? I was in college. I was a freshman in college when this came out. I felt so old in that moment. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with Diva, which is this really foiled green. I think that would be beautiful for Christmas. My eyes are watering so terribly right now. It's making this corner look weird. My husband, whatever that is, my hubby, and I are going to go out for a little date night tonight, pre-holiday date night, since I'm getting all dolled up for you guys. I think we're just going to do a coffee shop date. That's one of our favorite things to do. He usually brings the iPad and just messes around, reads articles, and then I usually edit videos, and then we're probably going to go look at some Christmas lights in a big, beautiful, fancy neighborhood. Sometimes I miss living in a small town. Anybody here live in a small town? Like, you don't have to put what small town. But I'm just saying, do you live in... The funny thing is, though, so many people, they'll say, oh, when I'm like, oh, I was originally from a small town. And they'll say, oh, I'm from a small town, too. And I'm like, really? How many people? And they're like, 50,000. And I'm like, that's not small. And we had under 3,000, for sure. We had less than 60 kids in our graduating class in high school. That's small. But I know there's some of you out there with even smaller towns. Because I've met people from towns of like 300. Now that's teeny tiny. I like small towns though. It's nice when you really know one another. This primer looks really weird, so I'm kind of nervous what my lipstick's going to look like over top. Favorite red lips. It feels really nice. I'm not digging how that primer's making this lipstick come across way more hot pink than red. So that means I'm going to go over top with Cozy from ColourPop, which is a little bit more of an orangey red. So I'm hoping it'll balance out some of this pinkness. That's better. That looks much more red now. It was coming across really, really hot pink, which is not what I was going for. Then for final touches is highlighter and blush. Hardest decision ever. But I think I'm going to go with my Makeup Geek Kathleen Lights highlighter. I'm obsessed with these foiled highlighters. They are so nice. I'm going to take the Makeup Geek highlighter brush and this lightest gold shade. I'm going to work that on before blush. They just go on so smoothly. And they're not chunky, glittery. They're just beautiful. A little bit of that same one. And then a little bit of this and a little bit of all of them. How about I'm changing my mind? A little bit of all of them. And I'm going to pop that right in here. Then for blush, I'm going to use the Makeup Geek blush that I think is called Infatuated. I'll link it below. I'm really not sure. I think it's Infatuated. Using a Luxie blush brush. I'm going to use the matching Peach Mist by Too Faced. Okay, I was jamming out to some Christmas music while my camera was cooling down. Okay guys, enough with the Christmas music, but the look is complete. The one thing I do want to add is I did spray this in my hair. It's the IGK Pre-Party Hair Strobing Glitter. It's so fun. I had to get it for the holidays. All you do is just put little spritzy. Now it will get everywhere around you, on your clothes, everything, so you have to like glitter to be okay with this, but I'm all about that glitter life. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. I loved how it turned out. I can't wait to go on a little pre-Christmas date night tonight. I will definitely be playing with some fun glam holiday makeup for Christmas this year. I would love to hear more about you guys, so if there's anything I was chatting about along this very long video, very long, but that's okay. If there's anything I was chatting about that you guys want to share with me, I would love to hear it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would love for you to be a part of my Lash family here on YouTube. I really would. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all 3 places, because I love getting to chat with you guys. And as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can do. Merry Christmas from my family to yours. Happy holidays. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.